Yes, I got it on the first try. Do I want to remember it? Oh, fine, I'll remember it. Cool. Okay, so what I want to do here is create something of my own. I want to create a new project. And, okay, there we go. And what I want to do is make almost like a little clicker, like we're going to use in class, where you've got A through E that you can choose, and it's going to keep track of how many votes are made for each letter based on how many times you click the different buttons. And then there's a special button that'll go in and will clear everything. So that's the idea of what I'd like to put together. I'm actually going to get rid of the cat and add in some sprites of my own. So I'm going to click that little sprite add button, and I want letters. So let's start with A. Cool, we've got A, and we'll add B, and we'll also add C. Okay, so I can figure that much out. And I could do D, E, and whatever, but I'm just going to start with A, B, and C. And you can see down here as I click on each one, it kind of highlights it, and then I can set up scripts for each letter. So what I want to do is have like a list where I keep track of how many times you've clicked each letter. So in order to do that, I'm probably gonna need data, and I'm gonna make this a list. I could do it with separate variables for each one, but I want to do it with a list because that would be really cool. And this list will be for all sprites, right? I don't want the list to be like just for C. I want all sprites to have it, and I'm gonna call it. I guess I'll call it clicks. Okay, well that's fantastic. I don't quite know how lists work in Scratch. Plus clicks, number 1. I'll call this A. And I'll call this B, and I'll call this C. Great. Okay. Now when I click A, what I want it to do, so for A, when this sprite is clicked, now what's interesting, when this sprite is clicked, that's only for A, because if you look at B, this doesn't have any scripts yet. So when it says this, and when this sprite clicked, it means for whatever script you're currently working on. Each sprite has its own script. So when this sprite is clicked, I want it to adjust data. So I want it to, I guess it's a replace. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I actually don't really know how lists work. I mean, I know how lists work, like, in general in programming languages. I don't specifically know how lists work in Scratch, so you get to see me flail around not knowing what the hell I'm doing. So replace item 1 of clicks with thing. Well, I don't know. Let's see what that does, because I have no idea what it does. All right. So when the A sprite is clicked, we're going to replace item 1 of clicks with thing. Let's see what that does. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, there you go. It'll literally replace item 1 of clicks, clicks being the list, with the word thing. That's not what I want. What I want to be doing is keeping track of things. So this leads me to believe that what's going in positions 1, 2, and 3 shouldn't actually be the letters. That was stupid. I don't know what I was thinking. Should actually be counts. So I've got this sort of mapping. A corresponds to position 1, B corresponds to position 2, C corresponds to position 3, 0 is how many times they've been clicked. So what I want is when this sprite is clicked, in other words, when the A sprite is clicked, I want to replace item 1 of clicks with, not with thing, but with whatever was there previously plus 1. So this means that I need to be able to, let's try this. Item 1 of clicks. So I think this just gets item 1 of clicks. But I don't want it to be item 1 of clicks. I want it to be item 1 of clicks plus 1. So I guess what I need is an operator. Probably a plus operator. Yeah, let's see how these... And I think you have to always connect the left part of these to stuff. There we go. Item 1 of clicks plus 1. And... oh, crap. That's not how that... Okay. Item 1 of clicks plus... Nope. I guess I have to grab the green part. Yes, of course I do. Now, how does this go together? Is it... No. Okay, that looks good. So, when the A sprite is clicked, replace item 1 of clicks with whatever was in item 1 of clicks plus 1. Okay, let's see if that works. I am so freaking awesome. That totally works. Look at that. Ah! Okay, good. Now, basically I want this same thing for B and C, except instead of item 1, I want item 2 and item 3. So I want to copy-paste this from here over to B, because B and C don't have any scripts yet. Go. Go into B. Go into C. I would expect this to, like, light up or something. Did that? Oh. That's weird. Wait. Okay. Click. Drag to C. Let go. That's really weird. You actually can copy-paste scripts into different sprites, but that's bizarre as far as what the... it doesn't, like, highlight it or anything. You just sort of drag it over there, and it just, like, works. Okay. Well, B script should not be item 1. This should be... oh. Also not item last or item random. This should be item 2. This should be item 2. And C should be item 3. Oops. Item 3. Great. Okay. See if this works. A. B. C. B. Wait. Wait a minute. Why is B changing both of them? Is that because I've got... is that because I'm clicking B here, but A selected down here? No, B is definitely changing both 1 and 2. Why is that? Oh! That's what's happening. Look at that. I remember how I dragged it over there twice? It dutifully pasted it twice. Hot dog! Oh, gosh. The cat is, my cat is, well, one of the 2 cats here. God, I hope I'm not still using these. Our cats are old. I don't want to be using these videos and mentioning the cats after they've, you know, passed. God, what a sad thought. Okay, so, you know, because you end up using these videos for years, and, like, you're referencing, like, events and stuff that happened years ago, and people are like, why are you talking about, you know, whatever. So that's what's happening here, is I actually have 2 of these in here, and so I got to get rid of this one. Now let's see what happens. That's much better. That was really cool. That was like a sort of a tricky little bug that I just found. I love finding bugs. It's one of my favorite things to do because, you know, like a really good bug that's really like a pain to figure out, you actually learn a lot from that. So this is what we got, A, B, and C, and then we've got these clicks in here. Now the other thing that I want to do is I want to like be able to go in and clear these. I want to have a clear button that'll reset all of these to 0. How am I going to do that? I have no idea. I mean, okay, I could do it like the sort of slow way. Well, first I need a clear button. So for that, we want to make a new sprite. But, no, we want to actually, like, make a sprite. What does this do? Paint new sprite. That's what I want. I want to make a new sprite and text. What do I like? Okay. Clear. No, I don't want to enter in there. Great. What is this? This looks like. How does this look? Okay, wait. Yeah, oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so I created the clear sprite and it's in here. This doesn't really look like a button, though. Does it? Can I put a outline around it? Rectangle. Oh, cool. Okay. Now it looks more like a button. Okay, good. So let's go back to scripts. Saving changes. Okay, so when I push clear, let's get an event here. When this sprite is clear, this is so cool. I would just want to reiterate that we did not have Scratch when I was a kid, and I wish we did. This would have been so fun to do when I was younger. I would have been doing this all throughout high school. I would have been, oh man, this would have been, because you can imagine the potential for building like games and stories and interactive fiction and all this other cool stuff. God, man, that would be fantastic. Okay. Anyway, back on task here. We got business to attend to. We need to get this clear button to work. So when this sprite is clicked, I want to reset all of these. Now I could do this like the slow way and just like replace, you know, everything with 0 or whatever 3 different times. But I'm thinking like, what if I want to have all the letters from A through Z? Plus I want to have, you know, Cyrillic characters and characters from Tolkien or something like that. So I have thousands of these. I don't want to. I want to basically, what I'm getting at is I want to use a repeat. I want to use a loop. I don't want to like manually go and change each one of these, because then if I add more letters, I have to go manually change everything, and that's kind of annoying. So I want a loop, which is a repeat. So we'll go repeat. And then what do we want to repeat? Well, how many times do we want to repeat it? Well, I could say 3, but then once I add a 4th thing, then I'm kind of stuck. So what I want to do is figure out, can I get the length of this list? I can. Length of clicks. So I want to repeat length of clicks times. And what do I want to repeat? Well, I want to set each thing to 0. So I actually, believe it or not, I'm pretty sure I need a counter. I need something to keep track of what position I'm at. I mean, you'll see this later when we start doing Java and when we start writing for loops, but basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a for loop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a variable. I actually just, I think, need it for this sprite. I don't think I need it for all sprites. I'm going to call it I. I is your standard name for a counter. And the first thing I want to do with I is I want to set it to 0. No, I actually want to set it to 1. And I want to do that before I start repeating. So initially I is 1, and I'm going to repeat length of clicks times, here we go. Let's drop this in there. Replace item, but not a specific item. I want to do item I. I guess I just drag this in here maybe. Replace item I of clicks with 0. Great. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's not going to work. I need to, well, I'll show you what that does, and I'll show you why it doesn't work. So, when it's clicked, well, great, it repeats 3 different times, but it's just replacing item 1. We can see this if we stick a pause in here. Where's the pauses? Yeah, let's put a wait in here, and we'll wait like 0.5 seconds. Let's try that. Ready? See, boom, boom, boom. You see that? It's actually just replacing 1. The reason being I need to add 1 to I, which I forgot to do. So, change I by 1. I think that's what that means. Change I by 1, I think, means add, 1 to I. If we said change I by -1, I guess it would subtract 1 from it. Let's see if that works. Look at that. That's awesome. Now, what's cool about this construct with this clear button, this will work no matter how many things are in clicks. Watch this. I'm going to add a new sprite. I'll go with letters. I'll call it D. Good. D, there we go. I've got D. I'll add 1 here. I'll set this to 0. I guess I want to change the order of these. Good. And then D, okay, I'll grab this for C. I'll drag it over here to D. For D, I want this to be, no, that's not, here we go, 4. Great. And let's see. Good. And the clear button will just work. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. Well, this is fantastic. So I've got this like little fake clicker thing where I can click these letters and it kind of keeps track of how many times each one's been clicked, and I can kind of look at it in this little list of all the variables. Can I make this smaller? Yes, I can. And then I got this clear button that clears all these things back down to 0. I'll call this fake clicker thing because it's a fake clicker thing. Great. I've also got this I sitting around. I don't really want... Can I like hide this or something? There we go, because I don't really want to see I. So I've got this little fake clicker device. So that's very exciting. And so this shows us we can use lists of variables. We can use I. Here we go. We got I being used as a counter variable so that we can like go through all the things in this list. This concept of iterating through things with like one of these loops and, you know, sort of touching each element and then like doing something to it. You do this in computing all the time. It's a very, very common operation. And then we got these little, you know, when the sprite gets clicked, we're going to do different things. We can also do different things like this, like with A, when the sprite gets clicked, we could add one to it. But before we do that, we could, you know, make it, yeah, we could hide it. And then we could replace it, and then we could show it, but we probably would need a little bit of time in between there, so we could put a very slight pause here, say. Make this like 0.2 seconds. So now when we hit this, yeah, it disappears very briefly. You know, because see up here, when I click on these other ones, it's not really very clear that I'm clicking on it, but with A, it's now clear that I'm clicking on it. You know, visually, I can see that it's been, you know, it's been pressed. So that, I don't know, there's a lot of really cool things we can do with Scratch. I mean, this is actually very, very, very powerful.